Hey guys, so I have a video of some finished projects. I always want to say products. I guess I have some newly finished products to show you. And there's moss everywhere. Still working on the bird's nest. Okay, so these are frames, polymer clay frames, and buttons from the two molds that I got clearanced a little while ago. And when I was making the eggs for the nests, I would make one or a whole bunch of frames from that same batch of clay I was kneading up. So I made a whole bunch that were white, and all the frames that I did with the Craft Smart clay, because I had this huge brick, because I did some ornaments one year for somebody, and I wanted to use up the huge brick I had, and the Craft Smart clay will not, no matter how long I baked it, it would not harden. So these have some flexibility to it. Kind of, it's a little bit harder than dried Model Magic, but it's still not hard like good polymer clay should be. But I wanted to use it up, and I figured once it was glued onto a project, there wouldn't be any issues with its flexibility. It was glued on. And I went ahead and just left them white, instead of adding rub and buff, because I was going to give a whole bunch of these frames and stuff out to friends, and I didn't know if they wanted to paint them or something, so I just left them white, and once they're glued on, as long as you're not, like, tugging at them, they'll be fine. So I made, this was a pink color, and I blended this a little bit too much. Most of the colors I tried to give it a marbled effect, which is really easy to do. It's just a stage that the clay is in before two colors are completely mixed together. It'll marble. This one I mixed up too much, but it is a pale pink. I just don't think you're going to be able to see it. Might be able to see a little bit more on that one. So I did a whole bunch of them. The frames on a bunch of them are kind of wonky because I didn't let the clay cool before I pulled it out. I was impatient, and I was sick and tired of working with clay. So a lot of the frames are wonky, so I'll keep them for myself. It doesn't really matter to me. There's another pink one. Here's some pink buttons, which I know that the pink's just not going to pick up. I did most of the buttons in the sunflower shape because I liked it better than the other two. There's another one. And I did the whites. Excuse me. I don't know why my throat is always so dry when I start a video. I guess maybe I just don't talk most of the time. Alright, so here's a green one. I really love how the marble came out on it, as you can see. I might be keeping this one for myself. And on most of them I added rub and buff so that, because you couldn't really see all the bumps and stuff, and I really wanted to highlight those. So this one was the stage after the marbleized, stage when you're kneading up two colors of clay. This was the minty green color, and some buttons. And the reason why I made so many frames is I'm trying to use up some of my clay. I have a lot of clay that belonged to my mother, and her clay is close to 2 decades old. It's really old, really rock hard, really dry, really crumbly. Had to add a lot of clay softener, and I was really trying to use it up since how um, I had everything out to make the eggs. Uh, Clay is like one of those things that you just, no matter how much you use, the volume never goes down. So I didn't make a dent in my um, in my really really super old clay, but I'll work on it some more another time. All right, so here's some purple frames. There's the marbleized look, and I just really like the marbleized. So all the frames that I've showed you so far were made with the Craft Smart clay, but unlike these white ones, these have some Fimo or Primo or Sculpey, you know, a good brand of clay in it, so they're a little bit harder than the white frames, which is good. And then purple buttons. Alright, so I've got one brown frame that I made for myself. There's the marbling. And I don't know, I really like how they came out. I think they'll add a lot to projects, and you know, really they didn't cost me much to make, you know, when I factor in, you know, the fact that I got the molds for only $2, and you know, Craft Smart clay, you know, that big brick went a long way, even though it wasn't very good quality. I probably won't buy it again, but I couldn't afford to buy it in name brand. You know, I usually can never afford to buy clay in name brand. Because I was doing such big ornaments with clay, you know. But, I don't know. It works. Like I said, once it's on a project, I don't think I'll have any problems. Alright, so this was some, like, specialty polymer clay. It was, I don't know what brand it was. A lot of my mother's old clay was, like in little Ziplocs, so I don't know what brand it is. I usually try and save like the granite and stuff for, you know, like real like polymer clay sculpting projects, but this granite clay had sparkles in it, and I figured I probably wouldn't use this for anything that I was trying to give a realistic look to, because it had sparkles in it. So yeah, so this is the granite frames, and then it's just got the silver rub and buff on it. And then so I used up all that I had. I got 4 frames out of that. And then I had a package of marble clay. The coloring was actually called marble. That's what it is. And it was some of my mother's really old clay, super hard. It just needed to be used or tossed. So I got as many frames as I could out of the package that was left. Okay, so next I'm going to show you the nests, the bird's nests that I got done. I still have a lot to do. You know, I separated out some of the colors to work with at a time, so that I don't stick different colors on the nest if I'm too tired. So I probably could have had these done by now, but I've been working on other things at the same time, because I just, you know, when I mass produce things, I get so bored. So I'm kind of like doing one project, and then I'll stop and do a couple nests, you know. And I was going to give a whole bunch of these out to friends, because I certainly don't eat them all. I did these eggs with that. I don't know if the camera will, looks like it's whitewashing itself. But this nest had like the marble clay eggs. A couple of those. And when I'd come close to the end, you know, and I didn't have enough to do, you know, where it didn't end out with 3 eggs exactly, then I'd do a couple, you know, and I had like 4 eggs left, then I'd do a couple nests with only 2 eggs in it each. Those are the, so I'm still gonna be working on nests. I don't like that word. I don't like the word clasps either. There's a lot of words that I don't like to say if it's plural. Just have a hard time with it. Okay. So I don't feel like being in the craft room for a day, so, or my craft room / bedroom. So I decided to sit out in front of my computer and make some lace flowers. So got this one, and all of them are pretty much in lollipop style. There's this one. This earring belonged to my Nana, so it's really special to me. So, just trying to use some of the eyelet lace. The eyelet lace can be really hard to work with in terms of this type of flower, and a lot of them I used a flat lace on, so I had to, like, you know, make cuts in it so that it would fan out. This flower was big enough I didn't have to cut into the eyelet lace, but a lot of them with eyelet lace I had to actually cut into the eyelet lace. This is the other one of my Nana's earrings. And this is like the same, this is a lollipop flower too. I just made it extra long because I didn't want to have like a 2-inch piece of each lace left. So I just made it extra long and coiled it more. And it made a really pretty bushier type flower. See, this eyelet I had to cut into. I think it looks fine. To me, it just makes it look more like petals. So. So this one had this multicolored, like, to me it reminds me of like the Lisa Frank, you know, neon color brand. And I didn't like it until I actually made a flower with it, you know, and the white toned it down, and I ended up really falling in love with this lace. I wish I had more of it. It came from those lace scraps. And here's another one with that multicolored lace. So, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera. So those are the lace flowers. And the last thing that I got done was this sorry. Was this wooden purse, and I made this for Diana. Hope you know, Diana, I'm still thinking about you, and I'm sure a lot of people on here miss you. You make everybody feel special, you know, and I just miss seeing you around. So this wooden purse was given to my mom to hold a piece of jewelry in that someone made her, and I jacked the purse. And I painted it pink, and then a lot of the colors got covered up, but I have blue in here, and I've got cream, and this, I really didn't like how this turned out, but I don't feel like painting it again. I tried rubbing gold rubbing buff on there, which I didn't really care for, but what's done is done, I just didn't want to redo it. These are two trims that Bonnie gave me. Here's some pearl trim. This is some sequin trim that I had. This paper in the background was some scrap paper Leslie sent me. This applique back here was from Lisa. This is from the Tim Holtz seasonal stack. It wasn't my intention to make this Eastery, but Diana likes rabbits, so that's why I wanted to put a rabbit on there. Bird's nest embellishment, fake flower. Some of these came from Craft Supplies 1, some of them came from Bonnie. I've got a flower bunch coming out of the back of the paper here, and then this was a little piece of blue lace that I tied in a bow. That was from the lace scraps. And then the inside I didn't really do nothing. Figured you weren't going to see it, and this shape was too hard to line with paper, at least for me. So I don't have a circle cutter. This side I just lined with some ribbon because this handle is actually a brad. So you could see the backs of the brads coming out right here, and I wanted to cover those up. So yeah, those are the projects I got done. Thanks for watching. Bye.